MrBeast's companies are facing a legal challenge of their own.
Which I really wasn't. I just wanted like help. Comes in the room and he goes, "You absolute fucking get back in that fucking room, or I swear to God, Turner. Jesus Christ, how many fucking times do I have to tell you how to edit this video? What are you, a fucking..."
MrBeast nice off camera. I assume you guys just always wondered, so thought I would ask. P Green, I'll be real with you. I ain't answering that on stream.
MrBeast has built one of the biggest empires on YouTube, gaining hundreds of millions of subscribers through massive challenges, record-breaking giveaways, and viral videos seen all over the world. But behind the success, a growing number of controversies have sparked serious questions about what was really happening away from the cameras. Over the past few years, former employees, ex-crew members, public critics, and even lawsuits have brought a wave of allegations and accusations that have generated non-stop debate online. From claims about stressful working conditions and behind-the-scenes conflicts to the Ava Chris Tyson controversy and other major disputes that grabbed headlines across the internet, MrBeast's brand has faced some of the biggest challenges in its history. So how much of what people are saying is actually true? Are these just isolated complaints from former workers, or do the repeated controversies point to something bigger? In this video, we're breaking down the biggest allegations, the public responses, and the controversies that have put one of YouTube's most powerful creators under intense scrutiny. Make sure you watch until the end, because some of the details that surfaced from former employees, legal disputes, and viral online investigations left millions of people shocked and completely divided on what to believe. Let's get into it.
You probably, if you're a MrBeast fan, you probably have noticed I have not been in the videos as of late. My piece no longer fit the puzzle, if that's the best way to put it. I had shown up, you know, I had done everything I was asked to do. I did it to the best of my ability. I helped the channel grow. When I joined, it was at 4 million. And when I left, I think we had just passed 30 million. But it was a mutual leaving. I had already I'd already told them multiple times, you know, what I wanted to do was kind of be my own boss, do my own thing. You know, I like streaming. I like being able to get in front of the camera and entertain people through playing video games or whatever it is. I wanted to be able to make my own videos. You know, I wanted the opportunity to travel and to go places. You know, me and MrBeast, or me and Jimmy, did not have any type of falling out. There was no argument. There was no bashing. There was none of that. It was very mutual, because it was something I was already contemplating, you know, not if, but when this was gonna happen, and it kind of got sped up.
Along with claims of stressful working conditions that, according to some former staff members, kept happening again and again. What makes the situation even more surprising is that many of these allegations reportedly go all the way back to the early days of MrBeast's rise on YouTube, when his channel was growing at an incredible pace. Several familiar faces from those classic videos later spoke about why they decided to leave the team, sharing stories that sparked major discussion online and put extra attention on the company's public image. Fans who once saw the group as a tight-knit crew, having fun on camera, suddenly began hearing reports of disagreements and tension behind the scenes, and it changed how many people viewed the brand. As more claims surfaced, the conversation only became more complicated. More recently, MrBeast became involved in a lawsuit filed by a former employee that included allegations of misconduct. The accusations generated widespread attention online and triggered intense debate, adding even more pressure to an already controversial situation. Back in the early days of the channel, Jake the Viking was one of the most recognizable faces in the entire crew. So when he unexpectedly stepped away from the team in early 2020, fans were left with a lot of questions. His departure video racked up more than 18 million views, showing just how popular he had become with viewers and how much attention his exit attracted. At first, Jake presented the situation as a straightforward decision and gave the impression that there was no major drama happening behind the scenes. Because of that, many fans assumed everything was fine and that his departure was simply part of a new chapter in his career.
There's no hard feelings anywhere, and the fact that I was able to be a part of one of the best YouTube channels in the world, you know, and learn from one of the best and be a part of the best, you know, and kind of put that on my resume and kind of check it off is amazing. Now it's time. I want to move on. I want to start my own brand. I want to start my own thing. I want to do my own thing, you know, and I really want to just push and, you know, kind of be my own person, my own thing, my own brand. You know, I really want to do all that. I have parted ways with MrBeast and the MrBeast channel. It's now time for Jake the Viking takeover.
Jake continued to reinforce that message. making it clear that there supposedly wasn't any bad blood between him and MrBeast after leaving the crew. He told viewers that things were still friendly between them and that they remained on good terms even after he stepped away from the channel. At the time, many fans accepted that explanation and believed the split was completely peaceful, with no major conflict happening behind the scenes. Looking back, Jake's departure appeared to be one of the smoother exits from the MrBeast crew compared to some of the stories and claims that surfaced later from other former team members. In his original farewell video, he spoke positively about his experience with the group and largely focused on the opportunities he had during his time there. He didn't spend his time criticizing anyone or creating controversy, which helped keep speculation to a minimum. During that period, MrBeast had built a strong reputation as one of YouTube's biggest success stories and was widely seen by fans as someone who created exciting opportunities for the people around him. As a result, most viewers fully bought into that image and saw Jake's exit as nothing more than a respectful goodbye and a fresh start for both sides. Based on the way Jake described his experience at the time, MrBeast came across as respectful, supportive, and generally someone who was easy to work with. Everything sounded professional and friendly on the surface, leading many fans to believe there was absolutely no serious conflict happening behind the scenes. For a while, that seemed to be the full story. But as time went on, some viewers noticed a shift in Jake's tone during live streams and casual online conversations. He began making comments that appeared to suggest things may not have been quite as perfect as they originally seemed. While many of the remarks were subtle, fans quickly picked up on the difference. Jake was no longer speaking about MrBeast in exactly the same way he had in his farewell video, and that immediately sparked speculation as people started trying to connect the dots and figure out what might have changed.
He's nice off camera. I assume you guys just always wondered, so thought I would ask. P Green, I'll be real with you. I ain't answering that on stream.
This is the point where many viewers started noticing what looked like a contradiction. In the beginning, Jake publicly said there was no bad blood between him and MrBeast, and he regularly spoke positively about both MrBeast and his experience with the team. Based on those comments, fans assumed everything had ended on good terms and that there was no lingering drama behind the scenes. However, during later live streams and online discussions, Jake made remarks that some viewers interpreted as questioning whether MrBeast was the same person off camera that fans saw in videos. Those comments quickly changed the conversation and sparked a wave of speculation online.
Paid for my rent every month when I lived in North Carolina, and he said, all right, you can live here as long as you want. You can literally stay in this like pretty expensive apartment just until you feel comfortable leaving. Don't feel like you're in a rush. Stay as long as you want. Stay for months if you want to. It doesn't matter to us. They're still paying me right now. I'm still technically working. I'm not going to give like any numbers or anything. They said we're still going to pay you for a while, and that is basically funding my trip to backpack across Asia. He's saying you don't have to work for me, but I'll still pay you, and because of that, I hope that lets you live in LA, go to college, backpack Asia. Whatever you want to do after this, I want to set you up for that. And the job is still an amazing job. If you have the opportunity to get this job that I had, totally take it. It's a lot of fun. It was basically just like a friendship, and going to work was a blast each and every day.
To some people, the shift in tone seemed suspicious and raised new questions. Critics argued that Jake was creating controversy for attention, while others believed his comments hinted that there may have been unresolved tension all along that simply wasn't discussed publicly at the time. Either way, fans were left wondering which version of the story reflected what really happened, and the speculation only grew from there. As more clips from Jake's live streams began circulating across social media, viewers became increasingly curious about what may have been going on behind the scenes with the MrBeast crew. People started comparing his newer comments with the statements he made in his original farewell video, and many noticed a clear difference in tone. At one point, Jake had praised the team and described his departure as peaceful and respectful. Later, however, some of his comments were interpreted by viewers as suggesting there could be more to the story than what was originally shared publicly. Those remarks sparked countless discussions and theories online, with fans debating what they really meant. The situation became even more heated when online communities began digging through old interviews, social media posts, live stream clips, and archived content looking for possible clues. As more past comments were brought back into the spotlight, some people started wondering whether signs of tension had been there for years, without attracting much attention at the time. Some viewers believed Jake may have chosen to stay quiet at first to avoid creating unnecessary drama, while others argued that his later comments only gained attention because MrBeast's reputation was already facing increased scrutiny from several public controversies. Either way, the growing rumors brought even more focus to the people who had worked closely with MrBeast behind the camera, and Jake wasn't the only former crew member whose comments sparked questions among fans. As discussions about his remarks spread across the internet, other former employees and collaborators also began sharing their own experiences and perspectives. What caught people's attention was that many viewers felt they were seeing a similar pattern repeat itself. In several cases, former workers initially spoke positively about their time with the team and publicly praised the opportunities they received. Then, months or even years later, some would make comments suggesting there were challenges behind the scenes or release videos offering criticism of certain aspects of the work environment. That pattern fueled even more debate online, with supporters and critics reaching very different conclusions about what these accounts actually meant and how much weight should be given to them. One former employee who attracted a lot of attention was Saw Turner. He uploaded a video titled "Why I Quit Working for MrBeast," which has since been deleted. In that video, he initially spoke about his time with the crew in a fairly positive light and appeared to acknowledge the opportunities that came from being part of a rapidly growing channel. At first, many viewers came away with the impression that he appreciated the experience and enjoyed being involved with the team. However, as discussions around former employees gained momentum and people revisited older comments and videos, some fans began questioning whether there was more to the story than what had originally been shared publicly. That curiosity led to renewed interest in his statements and sparked even more debate about what life behind the scenes may have been like.
Is people praise MrBeast, whether that be just people around me, people online. Everyone's like, this is the best guy on the planet. And while he is definitely a good guy, I'm not going to take anything away from his charitable efforts that he's done. It does get annoying when the person that everyone knows as a saint, you know, as someone who is the complete opposite. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind, just like actors, MrBeast and Jimmy Donaldson are two different people. This is basically just a compilation of all the videos MrBeast made thus far on his channel of him giving away money, adding up to him hitting $500,000. It's like, I want you to get every time I've ever given away money, add it up in the corner, and it should equal $500,000. I was like, this isn't gonna work because you clickbait. He'd be like, no, I swear, I did the math. I was like, all right, man, for sure. 8 hours passes by, I finish editing the video, and instead of the $500,000 he wants it to hit, it's maybe $410,000, and I'm like, Jimmy, clickbait is a thing you need to take into consideration. It came to a point where he's like, you know what, just start over, man. Deletes the project file, is like, start from scratch. Even if you delete the project file and make me restart and make me recut up all these clips, I can't make this equal $500,000. I am going insane. I don't know how you want me to do this. I day like 5 when he comes in and does basically the same thing and just scraps my whole video and asks me to do it again. I'm like, dude, let me take a walk, man. I specifically walked to a good friend who worked there at the Times office about 30 seconds away. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do right now. I can't edit this video for like another day. He wants me to come in on the weekend and do the same thing. I'm literally gonna go crazy. And that's when Jimmy hears me talking about how aggravated I'm getting with the situation and apparently like talking shit behind his back, which I really wasn't. I just wanted like help. Comes in the room and he goes, you absolute fucking get back in that fucking room, or I swear to God, Turner. Jesus Christ, how many fucking times do I have to tell you how to edit this video? What are you, a fucking...
But then the story took a dramatic turn that caught a lot of people off guard. After previously speaking positively about his experience, Turner later shared a lengthy social media post that appeared to sharply contrast with the tone of his original video. The message quickly spread online and sparked intense discussion among fans and critics alike. Many people were surprised because the post described what Turner alleged was a much more difficult experience working behind the scenes than viewers had previously heard about. In the post, Turner claimed that editing for MrBeast was one of the most mentally exhausting periods of his life. He alleged that he regularly faced harsh treatment, felt heavily criticized, and often felt as though his position could be replaced at any moment. According to Turner, the pressure became overwhelming and created significant emotional strain during his time on the team. He also claimed that even relatively small editing mistakes could lead to strong criticism, creating an environment where employees felt constant pressure to perform at a high level. Turner argued that this atmosphere sometimes left workers feeling discouraged, especially when dealing with issues or content changes that they believed were outside of their direct control. Turner went on to make several additional claims about the workplace environment. He alleged that editors did not always receive enough recognition for their contributions, and suggested that employees were discouraged from focusing on building their own personal brands after leaving the team. According to Turner, there was concern that giving editors too much public visibility could make it easier for them to find independent success later on. The allegations didn't end there. Turner also claimed that creative ideas were sometimes used without enough acknowledgement, that employees faced significant pressure behind the scenes, and that management created an atmosphere where meeting expectations felt extremely difficult. In addition, he alleged that staff members were asked to sign updated NDAs and were told they were experiencing what should be considered the peak of their careers. The thread quickly gained traction across social media and became one of the most talked about early controversies connected to discussions about MrBeast's work environment. As Turner's claims spread online, the internet rapidly divided into opposing camps. Some fans defended MrBeast, arguing that operating one of the largest YouTube channels in the world naturally involves intense pressure, demanding standards, and constant deadlines. Others felt the allegations raised serious questions that deserved closer attention and discussion. Others, however, felt that Turner's claims contained enough specific details that they couldn't be easily dismissed, especially as more former employees and collaborators began sharing their own experiences around the same period. The controversy spread rapidly across social media, with screenshots being reposted, live stream creators reacting to the allegations, and online communities debating whether MrBeast's public image matched what some former workers claimed happened behind the scenes. For years, many viewers had viewed the channel as entertaining, generous, and overwhelmingly positive. Because of that, allegations describing a difficult work environment came as a major surprise to a lot of longtime fans. What made the situation even more intense was a pattern that some people believed they were noticing. Several former workers had initially spoken positively about their experiences, only to later discuss challenges or stressful situations after leaving the team. That sequence of events fueled even more speculation and discussion online. Despite the growing attention surrounding these allegations, MrBeast and members of his team publicly disputed or denied various claims and continued operating their projects as usual. It is important to note that people outside the situation generally do not know exactly what happened behind closed doors, and many of the allegations that circulated online were not fully verified in public. As a result, debates over these claims continued, with supporters and critics often reaching very different conclusions.
There was one video I was in, I got paid a lot for it, but it didn't come out. It didn't come out because it didn't go well. It was the surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary or surviving solitary for whatever. It got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. People don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me, and it didn't go well. They weren't turning the lights off. You know, I asked them, I said, can we have nighttime hours? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. The lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep. And I have insomnia problems now. They might have started there. I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this we gotta stop. I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend, and I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing. And he goes, ask me why I have 2 briefcases. And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, oh, because this one's for today, and this one's for the challenge. And I go, what's the challenge today? He goes, you're gonna run a marathon. You're gonna do the 22.6K, whatever it is, and you're gonna do it on that treadmill over there. People who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Ryder, do I look like I run? I don't run, let alone a marathon.
Did you try to say no? Did you have a choice, or?
There was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, I wanted the cash, and so I started running at 12. I was able to take some breaks, and I asked him, how long do I have? He goes, until I get back. And I'm running until 3 a.m. All right, I got off the treadmill. Oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid. I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to ice my feet, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm out.
Still, as more controversies, allegations, and behind-the-scenes stories continued surfacing over time, many viewers began feeling that some of the claims no longer seemed as easy to dismiss as they once had. The growing criticism added even more attention to the ongoing debate and kept discussions surrounding the channel active across social media. Turner had previously stated that he wasn't interested in creating a full video about his experience. However, he later indicated that his perspective had changed because he felt there had not been enough accountability regarding the concerns he was raising. Not long afterward, he uploaded another video to his YouTube channel discussing the situation. The video was eventually deleted, but before it disappeared, fans quickly rushed to watch it, archive clips, and share their reactions online, turning it into another major talking point in the controversy. Still, as more controversies, allegations, and behind-the-scenes stories continued surfacing over time, many viewers began feeling that some of the claims no longer seemed as easy to dismiss as they once had. The growing criticism added even more attention to the ongoing debate and kept discussions surrounding the channel active across social media. Turner had previously stated that he wasn't interested in creating a full video about his experience. However, he later indicated that his perspective had changed because he felt there had not been enough accountability regarding the concerns he was raising. Not long afterward, he uploaded another video to his YouTube channel discussing the situation. The video was eventually deleted, but before it disappeared, fans quickly rushed to watch it, archive clips, and share their reactions online, turning it into another major talking point in the controversy. What made the entire situation especially confusing for many people was that several of the individuals who later criticized MrBeast had previously spoken very positively about him in public. That contrast became one of the biggest points of debate and left viewers questioning how to interpret the different statements that surfaced over time. Because of that, the internet remained deeply divided. Some people believed former employees were finally sharing experiences they had chosen not to discuss earlier, while others felt the timing of certain allegations raised questions and wondered whether the attention surrounding the controversy played a role in bringing those stories forward. Looking at it from another perspective, it's also possible that some departures genuinely were peaceful when they first happened. At the time, former team members were still connected to one of the largest creators on YouTube, and videos with titles like "Why I Left MrBeast" naturally attracted major interest, large audiences, and millions of views. As a result, people continue to debate whether opinions changed over time, or whether concerns simply became more public as the years went on. But once that initial wave of attention faded and former team members were no longer regularly associated with MrBeast's enormous audience, some observers felt the conversation began to shift. According to that view, more critical videos, reaction content, and expose-style discussions started appearing online, bringing renewed attention to the experiences of former crew members and making the controversy even bigger. At the same time, many fans argued that the number of similar complaints being shared by different former employees was difficult to ignore completely. Even though not every allegation was publicly verified, people began noticing recurring themes in the stories being discussed online, including claims involving stress, pressure, demanding workloads, and difficult workplace dynamics behind the scenes. Those repeated concerns helped keep the topic active across social media platforms and online communities for a long time. Supporters of MrBeast pushed back against the criticism, arguing that nearly every large company, media brand, or entertainment operation will have former workers who are dissatisfied with their experience. They also pointed out that running massive productions involving large budgets and high expectations can naturally create pressure for everyone involved. Critics, however, argued that the growing number of accounts being shared made the situation appear more complicated than simply a handful of unhappy former employees speaking out online. As the debates intensified, MrBeast's public reputation became linked not only to his viral videos, record-breaking challenges, and massive giveaways, but also to ongoing questions about what life behind the scenes was really like for the people who worked closely with him. At the same time, many people stressed the importance of avoiding extreme conclusions in either direction. The discussion wasn't just about defending MrBeast or automatically accepting every allegation as fact. Instead, a large number of viewers tried to evaluate the claims from both sides and focus on what could actually be verified. That approach became even more important when one of the biggest controversies connected to MrBeast's career erupted online: the Dogpack 404 situation. Many viewers remember when Dogpack 404 released a lengthy documentary-style video that quickly spread across YouTube and social media. In the video, he made a series of allegations about MrBeast and his team, raising questions about several behind-the-scenes practices. The claims covered a wide range of topics, including allegations involving challenge production, editing decisions, workplace culture, and concerns about conditions experienced by some staff members. The video triggered enormous discussion and became one of the most heavily debated moments in the broader controversy. The video also included allegations related to how certain participants connected to productions were treated, which quickly sparked intense reactions across social media. Because the claims were so serious, many people believed the controversy had the potential to significantly affect MrBeast's public image and business reputation if any of the allegations were ultimately proven to be accurate. For a period of time, a large number of viewers appeared to accept many of Dogpack 404's claims, and the videos fueled non-stop discussion throughout YouTube, X, Reddit, and other online platforms. platforms. Reactions ranged from strong support for the allegations to skepticism from people who felt more evidence was needed before drawing conclusions. Later, however, the situation became even more complicated when reports and online discussions began circulating that certain information connected to an unreleased third video may have contained inaccuracies or misleading claims. Those reports immediately became a controversy of their own and shifted attention toward Dogpack 404's credibility rather than solely the allegations against MrBeast. Once that narrative started spreading, many viewers began reassessing the situation. Some argued that if important details in one section of the investigation were inaccurate, it raised questions about other claims as well. Others pushed back, saying that potential errors in one area did not automatically invalidate every concern that had been raised. The result was another wave of heated debate, with supporters and critics arguing over how much trust should be placed in the investigation and its conclusions. Even with all the controversy surrounding the series, one part of Dogpack 404's earlier content continued to attract a huge amount of attention. It centered on an interview with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle, whose account quickly became one of the most talked about segments in the entire discussion. According to many viewers following the controversy, Weddle's story stood out because of the emotional and personal experiences he described during the interview. His claims sparked intense reactions online, generated countless debates across social media, and became a major focus of conversations about the broader allegations connected to the MrBeast team.
Tons of screenshots to showcase exactly what was being said to someone who was between 13 and 14 years old at the time, and it's fucking gross. It's completely unacceptable. Some of them were just public tweets right under everyone's nose. So Ava Tyson was an adult at this point, Lava was a child, and saying things like, "I posted some fire for you, please no share," and then other shit like, "but not $5, pathetic JK kissy face." They seem to communicate a lot, even sending Snapchats. So here's one that says "coming for America," and then goes on to talk about being in a group chat and everything. And I've seen a lot of people try and cope and deflect, saying like, "Oh, it's just edgy jokes, people are blowing this out of proportion." What a bunch of fucking nonsense. That's a load of hooey. That's dirty barnacles. That's ridiculous. Under no circumstances should an adult be communicating with a child in any inappropriate manner whatsoever. Edgy jokes between an adult and a child are still fucking gross. That's not like the slam dunk defense that some people seem to think it is.
A lot of viewers felt that Jake Weddle's account came across as deeply personal and emotional, especially because of the way he described his experiences during the interview. Based on his version of events, many people could understand why the story generated such a strong reaction online. His statements quickly became a major topic of discussion, with supporters arguing that his claims deserved serious attention and others calling for more evidence before reaching conclusions. At the same time, the fast-moving nature of internet culture makes it difficult for many people to know exactly who to trust. Social media can amplify controversies almost instantly, and public debates often become complicated when different sides present competing narratives. Some viewers pointed out that online creators and influencers can sometimes frame situations differently or emphasize certain details, which led them to approach the claims with caution. Because much of the publicly available information came from Weddle's own account, skeptics argued that additional verification would be needed before treating every allegation as established fact. That uncertainty made the discussion surrounding Jake Weddle different from another controversy connected to the MrBeast brand, the Ava Chris Tyson situation. By that point, Ava Chris Tyson's name had become widely known across social media, and even people who were not closely following the drama had likely heard about the controversy and the intense online debates surrounding it. Ava Chris Tyson had been one of the most recognizable personalities connected to MrBeast since the channel's early days, which is a big reason why the reaction to her controversy spread across the internet so quickly. For years, viewers closely associated Ava with the brand, and MrBeast even publicly described her as the first subscriber to his channel, highlighting just how far back that connection went. Because of that history, the controversy that erupted in July 2024 caught the attention of millions of people online. Allegations surfaced regarding Ava's past interactions and communications, leading to intense public scrutiny and widespread debate across social media. As news of the accusations spread, the backlash grew rapidly, turning the situation into one of the most discussed controversies connected to the broader MrBeast brand and drawing enormous attention from both supporters and critics alike. The situation rapidly grew into one of the biggest controversies YouTube had seen in years, with thousands of reaction videos, live stream discussions, and social media posts appearing almost overnight. As screenshots, messages, and other materials were shared and debated across the internet, public attention intensified and the story quickly became impossible to ignore. Because of the volume of discussion surrounding the allegations, Ava faced intense criticism from many corners of the internet, and public opinion shifted dramatically. For many creators and fans, even commenting on the situation became difficult as the controversy had become highly charged and closely watched by millions of people online.
Man was an artist who drew child. One of the most infamous cases was when he drew Keemstar's 8-year-old daughter in a graphic setting. Ava Tyson has publicly tweeted about Lolly, and in particular, there are tweets of Ava Tyson talking either to or about Shadman. A lot of the tweets are gone now because the Twitter account has been nuked, but there are archives of a lot of them. And one thing that still persists, and one thing that a lot of people have been showing, is that Ava Tyson may have actually commissioned a piece from Shadman, or at the very least, purchased a piece from Shadman. There's a clip from a MrBeast video where there is Shadman art hanging on the wall, belonging to Ava Tyson. I censored the close-up of the art for obvious reasons, but this is something that is irrefutable. The only question about Ava Tyson and Shadman's connection is whether or not a piece was commissioned or purchased. But at the very least, a piece was owned by Ava Tyson.
On top of the other allegations being discussed online, Ava also faced criticism over claims that she had interacted with or expressed support for content connected to an internet artist known as Shadman. The artist had already been the subject of significant backlash for creating highly controversial artwork that many people found disturbing and inappropriate. Those claims added even more attention to the controversy and intensified the public reaction across social media platforms. As discussions spread, many users strongly criticized any perceived association with that type of content, causing the debate surrounding Ava's situation to grow even larger and attract even more scrutiny online.
These companies are facing a legal challenge of their own, just as Jimmy Donaldson himself took the stage at the Time 100 Summit as one of the world's most influential people. Former employee Lorraine Mavromatis filing a federal lawsuit in North Carolina, claiming she faced discrimination, retaliation, was required to work while on maternity leave, and was terminated within a few weeks of returning to the job, told she was too high caliber for the position. NBC News spoke with Mavromatis today in a broadcast exclusive.
I do not want to be silenced anymore. I really want to use my voice.
In the complaint, she alleges that she rose quickly inside the company after starting in 2022, but after recent concerns about sexual harassment, was demoted and transferred into what the lawsuit calls a division where, quote, careers go to die. MrBeast spokeswoman responding to NBC News, saying Mavromatis' position was eliminated as part of a restructuring, adding in a statement, quote, this clout-chasing complaint is built on deliberate misrepresentations and categorically false statements, and we have the receipts to prove it. There is extensive evidence, including Slack and WhatsApp messages, company documents, and witness testimony that unequivocally refutes her claims. We will not submit to opportunistic lawyers looking to manufacture a payday from us.
As the controversy continued to dominate online discussions, one major question kept appearing across social media. Did MrBeast or members of his team know about any of Ava Chris Tyson's alleged behavior before the allegations became public? Because Ava had been one of the channel's longest-running and most recognizable figures, many people wondered how much those closest to the situation may have been aware of over the years. At the same time, viewers were speculating about whether Ava would remain connected to the MrBeast brand moving forward. As public scrutiny intensified and the backlash reached its peak, Ava released a statement addressing the controversy. In the post, Ava apologized to people who may have been hurt or offended by past comments and actions. Ava also announced a decision to step away from MrBeast-related projects and social media, explaining that the focus would be on personal matters, family, and mental health during that period. The announcement quickly became another major development in an already highly publicized controversy. However, the statement quickly sparked another wave of debate online because many people felt it stopped short of directly admitting wrongdoing regarding the most serious allegations being discussed. At the same time, Ava strongly denied allegations of inappropriate behavior and pointed out that one individual frequently referenced in online discussions, Lava GS, had publicly stated that they did not support certain claims being made on social media. Alongside those denials, Ava apologized for what were described as inappropriate jokes, past social media posts, and actions that may have upset supporters or former fans. Ava also argued that critics were combining multiple separate controversies into a single narrative, creating a picture that Ava believed did not accurately reflect the full situation. The statement went on to acknowledge that some past humor and online behavior were immature and would not be considered acceptable by many people today. Ava stated that there had been an effort to learn, grow, and become a better person over time. In addition, Ava explained that stepping away from the MrBeast team was intended, at least in part, to prevent further attention from affecting the many employees, creators, and staff members connected to the brand. Even after the statement was released, discussions continued across the internet as people debated whether it adequately addressed the concerns being raised. Even after Ava released the statement, the controversy showed little sign of slowing down. Many people felt the apology was carefully written and did not directly address the most serious accusations in the way they expected, while others argued that stepping away from the MrBeast brand was already a significant consequence and should not be overlooked. No matter which side people took, the backlash continued generating enormous attention online. New posts, reactions, and updates regularly attracted millions of views, keeping the story at the center of social media discussions. The controversy also increased scrutiny on MrBeast himself. Because Ava had been such a prominent part of the channel for so many years, some viewers began asking whether there had been warning signs that were missed, overlooked, or never publicly addressed. Critics continued demanding more answers and accountability, while supporters argued that responsibility should not automatically be assigned to MrBeast without evidence showing direct involvement or prior knowledge. As arguments played out across YouTube, X, Reddit, and other platforms, the situation evolved into one of the most significant public relations challenges of MrBeast's career and became a major topic of conversation throughout the online creator community. As many people expected, Ava's statement received a strongly negative reaction across large parts of the internet. By that stage, public opinion had already shifted significantly, and many viewers felt that the volume of allegations, discussions, and circulating information had made it extremely difficult for any single statement to change minds. No matter how people interpreted the response, the controversy continued dominating online conversations, and the backlash showed little sign of fading. As pressure on the situation increased, MrBeast eventually released a statement of his own addressing the controversy. In that response, he said that Ava Chris Tyson had been removed from the team and emphasized that he did not support or condone inappropriate behavior related to the allegations being discussed online. The statement spread rapidly across social media platforms, with supporters, critics, and commentators carefully analyzing every detail and debating what it meant for the future of the brand. From a public relations standpoint, many observers argued that this was likely the most cautious path available for protecting both the company and MrBeast's public image. Some viewers wanted a much longer explanation, a dedicated video response, or a more emotional message. Others felt that keeping the response brief, direct, and focused on distancing the organization from the controversy was the most practical approach under the circumstances. The differing reactions only added another layer to an already massive online debate. After that, MrBeast largely returned to posting content and running the channel as usual. He later provided another update, stating that an internal legal review related to Ava was taking place, while continuing to maintain that he had no prior knowledge of the behavior or allegations being discussed online. Even now, many aspects of the Ava Chris Tyson controversy remain the subject of ongoing debate and speculation. People across social media continue asking questions about what happened after the controversy, the outcome of any investigations, and whether additional information will ever become public. Because relatively little official information has been released, many online discussions are still driven more by theories, opinions, and interpretations than by confirmed facts. That lack of clarity has helped keep the story alive long after the initial backlash peaked. Critics argue that it would be difficult for someone who worked closely with Ava for many years to have been completely unaware of every issue being discussed. Supporters, on the other hand, strongly reject that assumption and point out that no publicly verified evidence has shown that MrBeast had prior knowledge of the alleged misconduct before the controversy became public. As a result, the debate remains highly divided, with people reaching very different conclusions based on the same limited information. Because Ava had been associated with the channel for so many years and their friendship appeared very close in public, the debate quickly became one of the most divisive topics across social media. Supporters and critics argued endlessly over what could or could not reasonably be known, and every new update sparked another wave of reactions, theories, and heated discussions online. While that controversy was already placing significant pressure on MrBeast's public image, another major issue soon emerged and drew even wider attention. A former employee filed a lawsuit containing serious allegations, and the situation became so high profile that major news organizations and media outlets began reporting on it as well, bringing the controversy to an even larger audience. Compared to many of the earlier accusations connected to MrBeast, this situation was viewed differently by a lot of people online. Aside from the Ava Chris Tyson controversy, many observers felt this case appeared more serious because it involved a formal legal process, rather than starting primarily through social media posts, reaction videos, or public allegations. According to reports and public discussions surrounding the case, the former employee chose to pursue legal action before participating in major interviews or becoming the center of widespread online debate. That detail led some viewers to see the allegations as carrying a different level of weight, regardless of whether the claims would ultimately be proven in court. As a result, the lawsuit quickly attracted attention from both supporters and critics of MrBeast. Because of that, some commentators questioned efforts by certain defenders of the brand to portray the situation as nothing more than an attempt to gain attention or online clout. From their perspective, the dispute looked less like typical internet drama and more like a genuine legal conflict that had escalated into a major public controversy. At the same time, others cautioned against drawing conclusions before all evidence and arguments had been fully examined through the appropriate legal process.
The suit also alleges Mavromatis was contacted to work while on maternity leave, and that the company never gave her required notice of her rights under the Family and Medical Leave Act.
Jimmy Donaldson himself, he says that you've got to get the job done, and there's no excuses.
Her suit claims she feared retaliation if she refused to work during her leave and was on a work conference call while in the labor and delivery room and traveled to Brazil for a shoot with soccer star Neymar a few weeks after giving birth.
But if Neymar wins, I will donate it to whatever charity he chooses.
No mother would want to leave their newborn baby behind to go to work, especially out of the country when you're breastfeeding your baby. That's the last thing that I wanted to do.
Documents obtained by NBC News show Mavromatis' signature on an employee handbook dated 4 days before giving birth, which laid out the company's maternity leave policies, something Mavromatis says she doesn't remember.
So you never signed any sort of FMLA documents 4 days before you gave birth?
No.
As news of the lawsuit continued to spread, the controversy started reaching far beyond the usual YouTube audience. Unlike earlier disputes that were mostly discussed within creator communities, this situation attracted attention from mainstream audiences, journalists, and major media organizations. As coverage expanded, more people who had never closely followed MrBeast or the online creator world suddenly became aware of the allegations and the debates surrounding them. That shift highlighted how significant the controversy had become for both MrBeast and his company. Supporters argued that allegations alone should not be treated as established facts and emphasized the importance of allowing legal proceedings to unfold before reaching conclusions. Critics, however, countered that the growing number of former employees raising concerns about workplace conditions was becoming increasingly difficult to dismiss entirely. The situation also presented a major challenge to MrBeast's carefully built public image. For years, his brand had been associated with massive giveaways, charitable projects, and ambitious productions that generated overwhelmingly positive attention. Now, instead of focusing solely on record-breaking videos and philanthropic efforts, online conversations were increasingly centered on controversies, workplace allegations, and questions about the culture behind one of YouTube's biggest operations. A lot of people are now watching closely to see what evidence, arguments, or responses emerge as the situation continues to develop. Because the dispute has entered the legal system, every new update is being examined carefully by supporters, critics, and media outlets alike. For many observers, this controversy feels different from typical creator drama because the allegations became part of a formal legal process rather than being driven solely by viral videos or social media campaigns. That is one reason so many viewers are taking the matter seriously and waiting to see how the facts are ultimately evaluated. At the end of the day, there are still many unanswered questions, and nobody knows exactly how everything will unfold. Public opinion remains deeply divided. Some people believe certain former employees may have exaggerated their experiences or presented events in a way that favors their perspective, while others argue that the repeated allegations coming from multiple sources suggest there could be broader issues worth examining. Until more information becomes available, the debate is likely to continue generating intense discussion across the internet. A lot of people are now watching closely to see what evidence, arguments, or responses emerge as this situation continues to unfold. Because the dispute has moved into the legal system, every new development is being analyzed by supporters, critics, and media outlets across the internet. For many observers, this controversy feels very different from typical creator drama because it involves formal legal proceedings rather than just viral posts, reaction videos, or social media debates. That's one of the biggest reasons so many people are taking the allegations seriously and waiting for more facts to come out. At the end of the day, there are still plenty of unanswered questions, and nobody knows exactly how everything will play out. Public opinion remains sharply divided. Some people believe certain former employees may have exaggerated parts of their experiences, while others argue that the growing number of allegations and controversies suggests there could be larger issues worth looking into behind the scenes. One thing is certain, the discussion surrounding MrBeast isn't slowing down anytime soon, and every new update seems to spark another wave of debate across the internet. Whether these controversies eventually fade away or lead to even bigger revelations, millions of people will be watching closely to see what happens next. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with others. And most importantly, drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts on the situation. Do you think these controversies have changed MrBeast's public image, or do you believe the full story has yet to be told? Thanks for watching.